You like that drop. It's that beat drop.
Yes,
Shout out to
sir.
Luke Kane for that one. But
That was wild. Yeah.
welcome, guys. We're doing things a little different today. You can see we have an ensemble today.
We have guests here
Let's get into it. Sakina and Britt.
on the spiritual tip.
But we talk about some spiritual.
Oh, that's a new one.
Okay.
I like that.
So,
That was new.
Pull out some
yeah,
Hey.
okay. Squeeze me. All right. So, we're going to be like diving deep today. So, before we start, of course, we want you guys to get into your handles. You know, rep your set, rep where you from, rep what you doing.
Right.
Guys started off, Ace.
Well, listen.
I am the man with many hats. Some people call me Chico. These guys and you guys can call me Ace, but my kids call me Papa. Representing the Corny dad set.
Like,
Word D.
my name is Yogi Den. Namaste. You already know the vibe straight from Philly.
I'm with it.
My name's Osmond Charles. Y'all can call me Oz. Catch me on TikTok at Corny Dads, OJC.
Nice. Okay.
Hey.
So we are going to dive in. So, you know, in this age of, like, I'm pretty sure you guys are all on social media. And you're all seeing this conversation of man and women, and like in the age of like Kevin Samuels, like, you know, God rest his soul. But, you know, and like, I don't know if you guys see tonight's conversation where they just talk about different points of views when it comes to like dating and meeting women. So we wanted to really like
Dive
just
into
give
that.
perspective from not only women, but from men's point of view.
Yeah. sure.
Okay, so I'm not sure if people are like, not that it matters whether they're married, dating, but I think you guys all have perspective on what that world is because you
Absolutely,
had to go
of
through
course.
it, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, you want to ask first question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. All right, so the first question, I love these questions, by the way. You really broke it down. I love them. All right, so the first one says, what do you think is the disconnect between men and women when it comes to dating? And how do you think we could bridge the gap?
Man.
That's a deep
where do we
question, right?
start? No, yeah, it's like, where do we start?
And who wants to go first?
Yeah.
So much to unpack.
I'm about to say, all right, so I'll start with one gap or disconnect. I think when we get down to it, one of the biggest things is when we're dating and we're courting and we're in a relationship, there's a lack of a plan. All right? So
That's a
it's
new
like
one.
it's like yeah, it's like okay, we're in this relationship now. All right, so what are we doing? Right? Everyone's just looking on TikTok and Instagram for what relationship goals.
Goals. Mm-hmm.
It's so annoying.
Right. So it's
Oh my
like
God.
we're allowing folks to tell us what we need to do in our relationships.
Yeah.
When we know each relationship is much different and unique in every aspect of relationships, goals, right? So you have to determine expectations, right? And you have to determine your boundaries, and you have to determine where you guys are going and where you want to go and where you see yourself, right? And I think that starts individually.
I was about to ask, that was going to be my backup. Like, well, do you feel like people should be whole before they embark on that journey?
Absolutely.
Well, you don't have to be whole.
Oh, wait a
You should-
minute.
But,
Okay,
but
why?
you should be working towards that, right? Because I'm not a whole all the way now, right? I still have insecurities. I still have issues. I still have problems.
I guess the word whole is subjective, right? So what do you
Yeah, it can be
define as
subjective.
whole?
Yeah, there you
Okay.
go. Yeah. So for me, it's like I'm still working towards something, but I can't allow you to think that you're going to complete me.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
So that's the biggest thing. I think that there's a disconnect where we're saying this men versus women thing. It's like, yo, you have to do this, that, and the third. But we know that's the reason why you're saying that is because you're incomplete in that area, and you're looking for this person to fill that area for you.
Yeah, I don't think it's men versus women. I think it's you versus yourself.
No,
Right?
yes,
And,
absolutely.
and like my brother just
Yeah.
said, and like my brother just said, it's all about purpose. Like, what's your purpose, right? And being honest and truthful. Because the
Yes.
truth is,
so.
I think that we're living in a world, in a time now. We're much older. We don't have to play the games, right? So if I'm dating you for a specific reason, I could just tell you that this is why, this is what I'm dating you for.
Direct.
Yeah.
Not everybody's direct,
and
though.
allow. And
That's the
I think it's allowing the person to have the option to say they want
I
to
don't wanna-
participate
Yes.
in this or not.
I
Yes.
always say that.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you the option.
Yeah.
Because you can opt out anytime you want to.
Anytime.
And also,
And being truthful and being having an option is also being, like you said, being like practicing integrity and being honest. Like, you're not trying to just pique somebody's likes or interest because you're trying to get to bed with them.
But
It's
that's
like
what-
be direct. If you just want to bone, just say you want to bone.
But that's what everybody does, though. So during the courting process, everybody puts their best foot forward.
Absolutely.
Their best foot forward.
if they courting, they don't gotta do a lot sometimes. It's crazy. Like people like that's it. That's all it took.
No, but guess what? That is their best foot, right?
Now you just like.
And guess what? Depending on what they think of you, depending on how the person values you, they know what level of engagement to pursue you at.
And that,
right?
that comes from how you value yourself.
Correct.
Woo, yep. Because I was gonna say at the same time, you're only gonna give to somebody what you give to yourself. I feel.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Self-love.
So if you offer in, excuse my language, if you over in shit and calling it brownies, that's because that's what you do for yourself.
Correct.
True.
That's how I
Correct.
see
That's
it.
true.
You know. So
Correct.
that was
Right.
unpacking
Okay.
that because it's a shame. I just be looking around like, what's wrong with people? Like,
Can we talk about the truth real quick though?
Yeah.
Because we say is tell the truth. But why don't we tell the truth? Why don't we be upfront and honest, right? That's probably the scariest thing. We lack the truth, right? So, but why do we not tell people right away what it is that they are looking for, right? And
Out of fear.
Absolutely.
But fear of what?
The fear of
I'm not
people judging
conquering,
you
yeah,
and not
judging.
being able to meet somebody
Rejection.
else's expectations.
rejection.
That's my.
Right.
But I think that also the other thing too is that people like to carry trauma from one relationship into another relationship. So with them
Therapy's important.
and then that's when you have the whole city boys versus city girls aspect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're carrying this previous trauma that you have from a relationship into a new situation. Now you're looking for like certain telltale signs, like, oh, he did what so and so did,
It's
and now
funny
you're about
you
to be
said
back on
that.
bullshit.
I saw a Twitter thread yesterday, and I saved it actually from using my phone. And I saved it because he was talking about how a woman, when she goes through trauma, not to just focus on women, but when she goes through trauma in relationships, she'll take something away from each person that she dates. So say she meets the next person. It was a very good thread. I forgot who the guy was, but he was saying like, okay, now she's not going to cook for this man because the last man she cooked for, she was trying to cook her way into his heart, and it didn't work.
Right.
So now when I get with you, I'm not gonna. You probably are a man that deserves it, but I'm just not going to do it because I have trauma from the last relationship when I gave my all. And it's just a trickling effect. Like, whether it's washing your clothes, whether it's just things that you do to show, acts of service of love,
So being transparent, since you're a woman, you read that thread. Have you done that before?
Definitely. Definitely. I said, no, I got a lot of love to give. And I'm keeping it to
ain't abusing
myself.
it.
You ain't about to abuse it. You ain't going to take me for idiot.
Listen,
Yeah, definitely.
anybody that I'm dating, I expect all of you. If
Yeah.
not, I don't want none of you.
That's what I learned, though. That's how you can show up for yourself, and when you're ready to love somebody, is like, why would I limit all this stuff? This is who I am. This is what I like to do.
Correct.
And I should feel nurtured and fine doing it, whether you understand it or not.
So that
Correct.
goes
'Cause
back
this
to
is
the
who I am.
option that you give people.
Yes.
They're giving them an option to take you as you are or not.
So people want the truth.
People want the truth.
And
He's like, I'm gonna circle back to my point.
Yeah, as fair as it, fearful as it is, be straight up and honest. I can tell you a million stories of how that's worked for me. You'll be mind blown on what I was able to accomplish.
Big facts.
Yeah, but do you feel like since when you were truthful, do you feel like some women were like, did you find it easier or harder to navigate the dating world?
Easier.
Yo, it was much easier.
Much easier.
Yeah, much easier.
Telling
Yo,
the truth?
listen, a lie, you got to remember it. You got to keep up with a lie.
Okay.
The truth is, this is who I am, butt
this is what
naked.
it
Like,
is.
this is who I am, baby. What you
Now
want?
what? Now
What you
what?
want?
Now what?
This
And
is
then,
me.
and remember, in a world full of lies, somebody's looking for the
No,
truth.
I agree. Woo!
Yeah.
Big
Because
fact.
that hit my soul. Because please, just be honest. It don't got to be all that. And I feel like that's where people miss the mark. They're not being honest with each other. Definitely not.
And guess what? You'll double what'll happen. You might be like, oh, that was super truthful, and I don't mess with you for right now. But when you go back out into the world
That was
and
some
get all
G
these
shit.
lies, you can be like,
That was some G shit. Kept it 100.
double back.
Yes.
Yo, I need that in my life.
But let's start talking about like so for me, what lying is, right? It's something that I had to deal with. That's part of my childhood trauma, right? My mama done lied to me. My daddy done lied to me. These are lies. So now in a partner, I need the truth,
Yeah.
right? Give me the hard truth.
Yeah.
Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like, right? Yo, if you did this, tell me you did it, right? Because at the end of the day, you giving me the option to say we could work through this.
Options.
we can.
We can't work through this, but 9 times out of 10, I've seen it with myself and I've seen it with women. You can actually work through it if the truth is there.
Absolutely.
Because I think you go back and you're like, I
Deceit,
respect
betrayal is something you can't come back from.
Yeah.
And depending on what type of relationship you're in, the consequences are really severe.
Yeah.
Which I thought y'all was going through these questions.
I did for a second. We got more questions. We got one question.
Kind of dig over a little deep.
All right, go ahead.
Why upon the place? Okay.
All right, so second question. That was a good one.
Okay, so how do you guys feel about incorporating spirituality into your relationships? You know,
Yogi
spiritual.
Den.
We always bring it back to the spiritual tip.
Yogi Den, that's you.
It is 100%
And is it a requirement?
It's 100% requirement for me.
He hit it. Oh.
It's 100% requirement for me because I can tell you when spirituality wasn't in my relationship and where I was.
It dies.
You know what I mean? It
Religion
absolutely
dies.
dies, right? There's mad insecurities it was mad insecurities in my part. I was drinking heavy every single day, right? Because I wasn't connecting with my higher self. I was connecting with my lower self, right? And then I wanted someone to do something for me that I wasn't willing to do for myself, right? So the best thing that happened to me was when my partner Anya said, homie, figure your shit out, right? And was like, you go figure it out, right? And I sat and I was like, all right. Then I connected with myself. I connected with my thoughts. I figured out why I was doing the things that I was doing. Yeah. And I said, holy shit, some of the stuff that she was saying was right. Yeah. Some of the stuff that a lot of people were saying was right.
I know. Ooh. Word.
So now I gotta figure and navigate this through. And then when I got back into the game, it was like, I see you. Yeah. So she could see me moving in the space of who she could see me as.
And what spirituality also does in a relationship, it allows you to know that there's something bigger than you.
Come on,
right?
Amen.
Spirituality gives you faith, hope. So there are times in your relationship where you're gonna go through those trials, you're gonna go through those tribulations, right? And you have to know that, this too shall pass. And spirituality is what helps guide you through that process. Without faith, without hope, you have nothing.
Yeah.
And if somebody's not vibing with you on that frequency,
come on, talk that.
You can't win. There's no win. There's no W.
We always say, like, when we just talk about in general, like the spiritual, on some spiritual shit. We always talk about this, and if you're like a spiritualist and you're just in a certain vibration
or alignment,
it's hard to connect sometimes because they're not ready to connect on that level. They're almost fearful, like, whoa, why can't we just stay on the surface? And it's like, but that's not who I am.
I got a question for you guys. Have you ever made spiritual love?
I think I have.
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah, I spoke about that. I spoke about that in one of your episodes.
I know I have. Definitely.
That's a different level of intimacy.
That's
a different level of intimacy.
And I think rituals go into it. I think that it's just there's levels to how you can do it. You can meditate, you can journal together, you can do full moon rituals together. You can literally have sex after and then manifest through having sex after the full moon. So there's like so many different ways to like.
Oh, you got freaky. I don't know nothing about that.
That's part two.
I got sex education
on another level.
That's another level of
I feel like when you bring spirituality in your relationship, it makes it so much deeper. And you really, you can really look at the person like, oh, you're really doing this with me. Okay, you're not scared. I feel like for us, definitely when you walk into our home, it's evident we're spiritualists. You know what I'm saying? So I think that depending on who you date or who you decide to give time to, they have to be okay with that. And I feel like sometimes in our culture, they're not always okay with that.
I even have relationships that, the person and I were like, we know we need to separate because what this is not, the spirituality is toxic here. There could be toxic spirituality, right?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, but I want you to touch on that though. What do you mean?
So you gotta understand, what you're asking from a person spiritually is something that you won't give yourself, right? Number one, and something that you lack within yourself. And if we have a goal, right? The goal again is for us to move forward, right? And to help as many people ascend the earth, right?
Yeah.
And help as many people become conscious. Yep. We can't engage in this toxic behavior, right? Like if I'm out here trying to make a move, you can't be begging me to come home and stay and be with you. Like you can't, like it's something.
That means you're not doing something enough. You got to find your path as well.
Why you have so much time begging me to come home?
So that's why I'm like, listen, like let's. You know what we need to do, right? We need to separate, right? And figure ourselves out first before we can come back and then figure where we're going to go out from here.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
And I think people don't believe in that.
That's friendships.
That's every relationship.
Every relationship.
Every relationship.
If you love something, let it go. And if it comes back,
I agree.
it was meant to be.
100%.
For sure, I agree.
Because we're all broken.
Yeah.
We're all broken.
Yes. And we have different ways of loving because of that.
Exactly.
Woo, and different ways of showing it because of that.
For sure.
So I think if we were more patient, this is where I feel like, back to the question of for like bridging the gap, I feel like if we all met each other emotionally where we're at and are ready to be honest about our traumas and why we show up the way we show up.
Right.
You know, when me and my partner, I have said, well, listen, I know why I X, Y, and Z don't believe in this, or why I feel this way about that. It goes back to when I was this age, or my parents did this. Like, I can literally connect it to
That's
what.
Awesome.
You got to do the work.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to do the work.
And it's like, bear with me, because it's like, I get a little nervous sometimes. I guess, I get a little scared, but you just
But
gotta.
it helps when you have that person who's on the
Yes,
same
I
place.
need you to like kind of rub my back while I go through it, and you have your traumas. I rub your, you know what I'm saying? So,
Because then you have some people who's like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
yeah.
But that's
over that
getting
shit.
I've been that person where I'm like, I don't know what the hell you talking about. like, listen, I've been that person. Like,
You
what?
talking about 5D?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, like what?
Come back down here. Come back down.
Or even something as small as, I remember there was a point in time where my partner wanted to share with me, some of her hurt, some of her pain, right? But I wasn't mature enough to be able to receive the message, right?
Yeah, talk that.
Like, that's real talk. I wasn't mature enough to receive the message, and ultimately, that created a gap,
Yeah.
right? And when those gaps start to happen, something has to come in and fill that gap. You dig what I'm saying? So try your best not to create gaps.
And fill it with spirituality. Bring it back to why.
There you go.
But even something easier we could do is just really getting to know a person, right? Like she alluded to earlier, when you start dating someone, you put your best foot forward. But I think you go on the surface level. Oh, what's your favorite color?
Right.
Can't stand small talk.
No,
do that.
you have to really try to dive in deep and really try to know the person on an individual basis. Then you could dig into spirituality. Because we don't want to skip any steps here. We're not going to be like, hi, my name is so and so. How are you with your spirituality?
Yeah,
you just have to know them as an individual, day to day. What's their situation? What's their goals? What's their outlook on life? Then we could dig a little
Intuition,
deeper.
discernment,
All
make
of that.
sure that you really being transparent, and you really, what you present is really who you is.
Correct.
That
Correct.
part. And it goes back to what's your plan?
What's your purpose?
Like,
What
what's
are
your
we doing?
purpose?
What's your
What
purpose?
are
What
we
we
doing?
What we doing?
Like, I'm not gonna lie. When I was on my single, I used to be like, so what are we doing? Because like I'm an action type of girl. What are we doing? I feel like I will always say this to women: when a man wants to, he will.
Point blank.
And if you're not willing, you're not the one. Because I feel like when a man really wants something, he's going to show you, like, I don't want nobody else to take this. Like, you are a prize. I could tell, like, you are a prized possession, and like you really solid, and you are the package. I have to make sure nobody has a chance to infiltrate this connection.
Is that an involved man, though?
Yeah, I was just about to say something.
Or is that just a man in general? I feel like that's an evolved man. Because
An evolved man, and I think that's the difference between when you are evolved and you know yourself, the difference, because you can see right through that. But the evolved man that I think pursues, yes, he would be an evolved man.
You know
Yes.
what?
Because he knows what he wants.
I'm gonna say
He
this,
knows what
right?
he wants.
A man could know exactly what he wants in a woman. He may have his prized possession.
Definitely.
He may have his trophy, right? But at the end of the day, a man has to be a man, right? And in order for you to be a man, and I said this in the last session, right? Which is where we talked about the 3 P's that I shared with my son, which is you profess, you provide, and you protect, right? So professing, providing, and protecting, the easiest thing you could do is profess. Oh, I love you, especially now in the age of social media. I
Yeah.
could post that I love you all day, right? Now, all right, so that's professing, right? Providing. To me, a man, you don't feel like you a man unless you can provide.
Amen.
Right?
And you should feel that way.
No, and guess what? Sometimes that is really what gets in the way. It's not, yo, baby, I love you. I know that you're a trophy. I'm gonna put you up there. But guess what I gotta do? I gotta hit the trap. Whatever your trap is, right?
Yeah.
I gotta hit the trap. And the fact that my focus and my purpose is on a particular goal, a particular mission, doesn't mean that I don't love you. It doesn't mean that I value you less. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I feel like women that are dealing with men, right? They have to, you have to provide a lot of grace and mercy in
absolutely.
order to
100%.
allow a man to flourish. Because sometimes you can meet a man, but he's not a complete man yet. But he knows you the bad.
Bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you gotta support
I
him.
feel like you can
in
relate to this.
becoming.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. Yeah, because definitely.
Specifically black men.
Yeah, I think that might.
Yeah, you gotta provide
Specifically
respect,
black
whatever.
men. But you know, for me, there's always a line. I feel like, how do you know? Sometimes it's like, well,
I think you're a pusher. You want to push people.
I want to push people, and I'm big on this. I do not want to do a Tyler Perry storyline. I'm not doing the Tyler Perry love story. I am not doing I'm not doing struggle love. I don't want to do it. I set my life up in a way where I don't need to be doing that, and I don't want my partner doing that. So, you know, I feel like I go hard, and I feel like whoever I'm with, my partner should be going as hard, if not harder than me, because I am a woman. Right. I'm like, and not to like, because we're gonna get into gender roles. I just feel like we're supposed to be in our feminine. I feel like when we're all like getting it, we're not allowed to be. Yeah, sometimes I feel like with black women, it's hard for them to go back into their feminine because they have to hold shit down. I want to be pink and pretty.
Me too.
I see what you're saying.
On the couch.
I see what you're saying.
Making the dinners, the breakfast. Here, honey, I ironed your shirt because I got time and things are taken care of.
Okay. I like that.
And I'm still going to get to the bag because I'm still working on my businesses on the side.
I like that.
Like, no. I'm sorry. So for me,
we still got
to give grace. And I feel like you got
to because you had to give yourself grace to get there.
I had to give myself grace, and I had to.
Oh, talk that.
There was something that you said where you were like, this is always gonna stick with me.
I said, girl.
The person, it's how the person shows up consistently.
Yeah.
So I had to really sit down with myself and be like, this man is consistent.
He tries.
He tries.
Person who
tries. Do you know how ghetto it is out there? Like, no.
Yes, I do. You don't.
Yeah,
I do.
It's ghetto out there.
She not had no ring yet.
No,
it's ghetto.
It's ghetto out there, and even like, oh, I saw this, I got this for you, or like, oh, I knew you're gonna be doing this all day, so this is clean, that's done. Oh, I put this out for you. It's just like little things like that. As being an independent woman, I'm like, wow.
It's about your love language, right? Because guess what? I could love you. I could think that you are everything in the world, right? But if our love language doesn't meet, then it just doesn't meet.
It don't work.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Like what you're talking about is
materials.
Listen, I'm heavy on materials.
You are.
Yeah.
Like
gifting.
I love gifting.
Yeah.
But I don't really like to receive gifts, right?
Wow.
But I love to give gifts. Like everybody here know, like it goes down.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
I love
it
that.
goes down. It goes down.
That.
Like if I'm giving a gift, I'm putting my best foot forward with whatever it is that I'm giving. But guess what? Sometimes somebody may feel like, yo, that's cool. I would have preferred you talk to me intimately about your past. I'm not ready. I'm not there.
Yeah.
Right? But take this love with this gift that I just gave you. Or take this love with this quality time that I'm spending with you. You feel what I'm saying? So again, I think what ultimately ends up happening in relationships, whether black, white, purple, orange, right? Whether heterosexual or the other stuff that's going on, right? Is that sometimes love languages don't meet, and when I've come to realize is love languages get to change in time.
What? They change for me.
They change
with different
all the time.
people.
Yes. My expectation with you ain't the same thing as my expectation with you.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And that's and that's real. So I think that consistent checkup, that check-in,
that goes.
like hey, let's talk about this. What's your expectations now? What's your love language now? Because mine done change. Did yours change? I wanted you to touch me all the time. Now you're doing too much. You feel what I'm saying? It happens.
It's true. Very true.
No, absolutely.
This is like so much to unpick. What you got?
We only on question 3, y'all.
I told you I wasn't gonna skate on the question like that.
It ain't like
You know, so they always like to say like women are from Venus. I always think this is a funny saying. So I don't know if you guys read all about love and like the mastery of love.
Yes, we read.
Yes.
The 4 agreements.
Yes, the 4 agreements.
Okay, so
Don
like
Miguel, right?
you know, it's always like there's this thing of men versus women, or men are from Mars and women are from Venus. And my thing is that I just think we're not on the same emotional plane. It doesn't mean that we differ. But I want to say like every man has a feminine side.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I feel like they like this in society. They say men are, logical, but that's because we've haven't nurtured you guys being emotional and in your feminine.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
condition them to be that way.
So the question for you guys was like, are you able to get into your feminine when you are dating or with your woman?
I'm mad emotional. I'm emotional like a mug.
What's your sign?
I will cry in front of you.
Cancer.
I'm a
right?
Cancer.
I knew it.
Yeah,
That's the-
like I will
It's so
cry in front of
crazy.
you. I'd want to hold you. I want to take a bath with you.
Wow.
Like I like that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I like to smell good. Like there's certain things that like I think it's necessary in a relationship. Ace,
No, but I think it depends, right? Once again, on your past traumas. You could have been that guy that gets into your feminine side. You're a very sensitive woman, very vulnerable with a woman, and she takes full advantage of that and throws it back in your face. Now you go into your next relationship. Now you're gonna be like, I can't be who I truly am because I did that before, and look what was the end result.
You know what's funny?
I've seen that.
Any relationship, whether it's a business relationship, an intimate relationship, I always go into it on a fresh page. I'm giving you my complete trust. I'm giving you everything up front.
That's a cancer trait.
That's hard, man.
That's so
to
cancer.
mess this up. But the problem is,
I'm very surprised you said that because given your history, right, and how you were brought up, like you just said, everybody lied to you. That's very.
That's
Yeah.
that's
Nah, but I'm gonna tell you,
Like, big of you
but
to
I'm gonna
do
tell you
that.
what's spooky, right?
Yeah.
The moment you violate
like
that,
Mm-hmm.
it's no coming back.
Yeah, okay. I could.
It's no coming back.
I
Like
could- I
I'm
could
getting
fuck with
text
that.
messages now. There ain't no coming back.
God.
Like you feel what I'm saying? I get emails.
I don't think he gonna answer.
It's not gonna work.
It is what it is.
It's not gonna work.
You chose to hang yourself.
That's tough.
Lie in that bed you made. I'm big on that. You made that bed. Lie in it.
Don't violate me.
That's it.
Appreciate me. Love me.
But what is the point that's crossed that we spoke of grace, right? So if an individual does, cross that line, in what particular situation I'll be like, yo, you know what? Let's give him some grace. Let's give him the opportunity. Because no relationship is perfect, right? And we're gonna carry some of the, like I said, once again, the traumas, and somebody's gonna do something that you feel like. I think, you know what? I'm gonna allude to a story that you spoke of, right? Of on one of your episodes, you spoke of a time with your boyfriend that you were living with them, and you went through his phone.
I didn't go through his phone.
Well, all right, you didn't go
That's
through
how
his
we
phone.
remember it.
You bumped into some information,
I
but
like that. You bumped.
you bumped
I like
into some
that.
information,
I like that a
but
lot.
you still stayed, right? So you provided him some grace in that sense.
grace in that.
So
That is grace.
what was the turning point that was like, nah, bro, I already gave you
But
grace.
is it grace?
Actually,
Is it grace?
I'm gonna clear up the story.
Oh, please
Because
do.
when I bumped into the information, I actually left. I gave him grace for 7 years prior.
Oh,
got it.
okay. So it was just the straw that
That
broke
was
the camp.
the- that-
Okay,
yes.
got you.
But that's the point. You give the person enough grace, right? To the point where you say, like, yo, it's done.
It's done.
It's done.
It's done. It's a
Yeah.
wrap.
It's done. There's no coming back. And again, I'm talking about all
woman's
kinds of
stand up.
relationships.
I feel like I got more grace than I feel like from a woman's standpoint, from my experience, I've gotten more grace from my partners than I've given grace. Definitely.
Interesting.
Because you come in with, it sounds like you come in with demands. Like, hey, what?
Not so much demands. I feel like I'm more like I'm a stand-up person, and what I want from you, I do it for myself. So it's just like I just look at. For me, I'm kind of old-fashioned. I look at a man as alpha. I look at a man as lead me. And if I can't trust you to lead me, then that's going to be a problem for me.
Well,
Where
that
does
gets
that
into
come
our
from?
next question, though.
Oh yeah, that's good. You alluded to.
Yeah.
Or do
This-
we want to wait for that?
Well,
Be submissive.
Yeah, we don't
We
get
oh
can
yeah,
talk
being
about being
submissive.
submissive,
Yeah,
about women.
I would love to be. I yearn to be submissive.
So I feel like
Definitely.
being
What? I
submissive,
think it's beautiful.
but I feel like being submissive has a great deal of being trustworthy.
yeah.
And trusting the person you're with to lead you.
Yes.
Right? So do you think that you could be a submissive person?
Oh, definitely.
In general?
In general, yeah. If I think, because I've been that person when I've been truly in love and invested, and this is gonna sound crazy, but thinking that they are the one, right? In that time, you're thinking that they're one, and you submit. You are at their service. I feel like when you submit, you're at their service, and like, and for me,
Willingly.
maybe it was in an unhealthy way, but I still felt like this is my role as his partner,
When you say unhealthy, what do you mean?
where I wasn't working on my stuff.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm watching this man elevate, but I'm so in my submissive that I'm not working on what I need to work on. So I'm watching Graduate. I watch all that shit happen before me, and I have nothing to show for it.
I'm not, you're going
That part. How did he take that?
I think that he
How
didn't
did
take
he
like
respond?
anything.
How did he respond to that, or was it like?
I
yo,
think
this
it was
is cool?
just like, that's a you thing. Like, they ain't got nothing. Like, you was busy chasing me. That's a you thing. And I'm real. So it's just like, now that I'm adult, I'm like, well, that wasn't me thing. Like, I was chasing somebody when I really should have been chasing the bag. And I already knew who I wanted to be. I already knew what kind of career I wanted to be in. So I look up and I'm like, damn, all this time passed, you know? And I'm like, damn, I'm not even where I want to be.
So I was in the same predicament as you, though.
Yeah.
And so this is where it comes back to not trusting people because they manipulate your submissiveness.
Yeah.
So that I can really resonate with because even now to this day, I'm not gonna lie to you, I have trouble with that word.
Yeah, we don't like that word.
So is it submissive or codependency?
What's the definition of
Yeah, we
submissive?
got to define.
we got
So that was my question for y'all. What
Okay.
do you think being submissive as a woman means?
I can't wait to hear this.
And why? And do you agree with it? Do you want that in your woman?
Because this is such
I
a
was
big
thinking
thing
about.
right
I was
now.
thinking about this question. Sorry, Dad.
No, you go.
I was thinking about this question. First of all, I don't like the term submissive, right?
Okay.
Because I'm not Muslim, but in the word, like Islam is submissive, like you're submitting to God, right? So I think when people think about the word submissive, they just think that you're just bowing down at whatever's thrown at you from this individual. It's like you have to take it. You have to. I don't like the word.
I don't like that.
I like the word like compromise, because
Yes.
it's a give and take. Like, okay, I could understand you from this facet. I could take this from you, but I'm gonna have to give this back to you. So I think in a partner, we call ourselves partners, right? So we're working alongside together. So it's a give and take situation. So even in that situation when, you know, your partner at the time was going to school, running up the bag, and you were kind of sitting in the back, like, all right, baby,
I'll pick you up.
go.
I'll pick you up. I'll drop you off. I was like that person.
But that's an investment, right? You're investing in your partner, and then after that, your partner invests in you, and then y'all pour into each other's cup.
So I didn't really understand that concept until.
Well said, though.
That's a really good point, because I didn't understand that concept, and I think that goes back to us dating and, like you're saying, doing grace, right? Because I didn't really understand that concept, and being patient with it and understanding, like, okay, maybe you're not starting at where I'm at, but you still know where you want to go, and I need to respect that.
I believe we could ball together.
Yes.
There you go.
We gonna ball together.
We gonna ball together.
Like I don't.
Yeah.
Listen, you gonna drop me off. I'm gonna come and pick you up. I'm pushing you to reach your highest heights.
But why though?
Why? Because I love you, and I want to see you be the best that you can be.
And that's
Like-
longevity.
Like to me,
This is a goal.
It's
We have a
11
plan.
It's 11 on the
We got
clock.
a goal, baby. It's easy for me to submit.
Yeah.
What was that quote you were saying last week? Unmet expectations.
No, it's unset expectations equals unmet needs.
Ooh, that's
Real
true.
talk.
Boss.
Ooh, there we go. Look at that.
Yeah, that's on the
look at that.
plate.
We all look
If you got a goal, right? It's easy
it.
for me to submit. It's easy for you to submit because we know where we're going. So it's super easy. It's not even one of those things that we got to do it. I'm in the box. And
See,
like-
unlike Ace, I actually disagree. I like extreme words. I like the word submissive, right? Because guess what? I'm gonna submit to you, and I need you to submit to me as well.
It's a
Like
equal thing.
I'm down with like, yo, like I'll submit to you. What do you want? Like I have no
I've
problem.
never heard a man say that.
I have no
I'll
problem.
submit too.
Yo, I'm gonna keep it real with you. The
I've never heard
dopest
that.
thing.
what's the definition? We got to define
All right,
it.
so
because people paint a picture.
my definition of submission is trust.
Yes.
Like, yo, I trust the information that you're giving me. I
That is
trust
so
the
true.
direction that you're pointing me in is the right direction.
Absolutely.
So therefore, you as my friend, right? I
cheeks are
submit to
tingling.
you, right? This has been my boy. This has been my brother for you going 30 years. Like everybody here, everybody that's in the back, like we've been in this 30 years in the game.
Yeah, the same
You feel what I'm saying?
Lifetime.
I submit to these brothers because guess what?
And vice versa.
Like this is my spiritual advisor. You feel what I'm saying? I
is.
submit to Den. You feel what I'm saying? When it comes to you know air conditioning, all kinds of stuff like that, because he is the man. Yo, if y'all. That's a whole other.
That's another conversation.
But like, for example,
I move heat. I move heat, man.
like, you know what I'm saying? I
need AC installed,
Yo,
so
I
we'll talk to you later.
I submit to that. When it comes to sports management, I submit to my brother because guess
Yeah.
what? They're gonna be the people to guide me in that direction. And when it comes to my partner, the woman that I love, the woman that I intend to spend my life with, whatever it is that you're providing, I submit to it. I may not like it, right?
Okay.
I may not like what you're saying.
But I trust what
But I
you're
trust
But I
it.
trust what you're saying.
I see your
and guess
vision.
what? It may not look when it's happening.
I don't know what
It
the hell
may
you
be a
talking
back
about.
and forth.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
see
You feel what I'm
eyes.
saying? Because guess what? I have a vision too. But guess what? I submit to your vision.
Yeah.
I
Is this
submit to
is
your
it
vision.
over?
It ain't over.
It ain't over.
It
No,
ain't-
real-
Hey,
no,
Mark,
real
you
talk.
gotta
No.
give them some ding dings and call it. You know what I mean?
No, because
All them bars.
it's true.
No, that's real talk. Like I
Yeah.
submit.
So I submit too. Like my partner put me in. She a hypnotherapist. Like I submit to her, putting me. I trust her.
That takes a lot of trust. It's
Taking
like doing.
me under.
Like shout out to 3 Guys and Girls, but it's like doing BDSM and tying people up, like and roping people. Like that takes trust.
She's in my
That's
head, my
trust.
thoughts, my body,
Wow.
That's submissive to us.
Correct.
Wow.
I trust you.
I love that.
Correct.
She's hip. That's dope.
Correct.
That's so dope. Shout out to you. That's dope.
Yo, we gonna plug you in. We gonna plug you in.
Yes.
We gonna plug you in. Ethereal healing.
Oh my
for
God.
Sure.
Please, yes. That's so. You heard that, y'all, right? Right here, spiritual tip. Okay.
I mean,
So.
you thought Corny Dads was a game, man? We ain't new
Yeah.
to this. We
No,
treat
I
it-
really love
Although
you guys
we are
back
coming
on.
out with a game soon.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're gonna come out with a
Dad,
game.
say it again.
A game.
Just manifesting. Yeah, a game.
Like a board game or a card
Or,
game.
yeah, or like
'Cause
a
you know how
board
they have,
game.
you saw how. You know, I know it's our spiritual tip, but and like Corny Dads, but you know how the conversations tonight started with a card game.
Yeah.
It's a dating card game, and then they made a podcast over it.
Don't you have something like that? See?
What? That's so cool.
No.
What's the next
I
one?
love it.
right.
I love it.
I love that.
Girl, we got so much.
I mean, I already know the answer to this, but do you guys consider yourselves sensitive?
Yes.
Why or why not?
Yes.
And does it affect your relationships?
I like that.
Come on.
definitely
Yeah, I'm
sensitive.
sensitive as
I'm
hell. You could hurt my feelings in a heartbeat. I'm sensitive.
I like how you come with you consistently come through with the music.
I'm a
ad-lib.
walking soundtrack.
I heard, you're a walking karaoke, man. I love that.
Definitely.
I'm coming more into being more sensitive, like out in the open. Like people know that I'm sensitive. They know, right? But I'm not expressing it outwardly. But they know, because people know me, right? You understand what I'm saying? But my brothers, like Oz and my brother Snug, these boys is like, yo. They'll break it down to a point where I'm like, yo, this is a lot.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But I want to be able to share that information, the information that they share, those intimate things about themselves. I want to be able to share that too, you know.
Yeah.
But I only do it when I'm get mad. When I get mad, I'm like, but I'm lonely though. It's like that was sensitive, but bro,
I feel like I'm always picking men's minds, especially like with my partner. I'm always just like, so y'all don't talk about that. So like when you go through things, you expound it, like do you like put it onto your friends and like see their perspective, see how they might see it, how you see.
No, listen.
No,
And I'm like,
men don't do that, right?
I'm like, they don't.
No. We talk about the most cliche things ever. Like, let's just keep it real. Like, y'all women, y'all go through it's a man and a woman that goes through a situation, right? So y'all telling a story, we telling a story too.
It's
We
like
just,
Grease.
We just found a safe
Grease.
place to tell the story.
yeah, we feel safe in it.
We created a safe space amongst each other. So it's like, yo, I'm not judging you.
Yeah.
You did what? She did what? God damn. How did you feel about that?
Yeah.
Oof. God, I don't know if I would have done the same thing. I hear that so many times.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I would have been able
I
to
always
do
tell
that.
myself, yeah,
We
that was
counseled
strong.
each other.
That was strong.
I love what you did there because I wouldn't have been able to do that.
And that's
But I'm
real.
learning. But I'm learning from my brother.
Yeah.
Like I'm learning from my brothers rather.
You know, and honestly, that took me therapy. Like going through therapy allowed me to be like, if I'm gonna talk to this person I don't know, right? And at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this. My therapist actually loves me. Yo,
Yeah.
Dr. Rains, Pavilion
Shout
Health.
out to
Thank you so
therapy.
much, Dr. Rains, for all that you have done for me. Brother
love
Powell, Bill Powell, thank you so much. But ultimately, I felt like if I can share with these people what's going on in my world, what's happening in my life, these are the people who've been with me through thick and thin.
Amen.
Through some of the worst situations, right? So why
Amen.
wouldn't I be able to just tell him, like, yo, you know what? Today my feelings got hurt because A, B, C, and D happened. Like, with your friends, you don't just share the glory. Because there's glory stories. Yo, I went in there and I did this. Nah, but what about the stories when you the
low.
victim?
Can I ask y'all? Can I ask y'all a question? How do you guys are the men that you guys deal with? Are they sensitive towards you guys? Are they?
Yes, I would say.
Okay.
More. I
they
feel like
open up?
I'm a student to. I'm becoming a student in my relationship.
Okay.
That's good.
And
I'm
I
gonna
say
say no.
You're gonna say.
But no,
Oh, Lord.
my record has shown no.
Yeah.
Now that I'm older and I've learned a lot more things, yes, because I get to pick the men that I want to be
Yeah.
dealing with. So I feel like I am, yes, now.
I feel like everybody that I've ever dated, I feel like they did try to teach me sensitivity. I've dealt with people who are more vulnerable. I said that last episode. I've dealt with men who are more vulnerable than me, and I'd be like, man, check your chin up. But
Man
I
up.
feel like
Man up.
But I feel
Man
like
up,
this,
man up.
I feel like the relationship I'm in right now is more like teaching me how I can be a better woman.
Compromise.
Is that because you became a better? You were already working on yourself.
Yes.
There we go.
Definitely. And I feel like I had to go out. It's funny because I thought the journey would be more for him. It ended up being obviously for both of us. But I feel like, wow, I learned so much.
like a mirror.
Yeah, it was a mirror because we are very aligned. Even our signs, everything is very much aligned. You know what I'm saying? And no matter how much we would like go away, we would come back. So I feel like he taught me different aspects about my life that I need to kind of take more time in when dealing with a partner, like you said, because a partner is exchange.
It's an exchange.
And that's why I don't say boyfriend or girlfriend in my age. I say partner. Because
I love that.
to me, I feel like it's, childish. For me, I don't
it's
knock anybody.
expendable.
Yeah, and a partner to me sounds more solid. And like, okay, they must be serious.
We're working towards something.
Yeah, we're working. It's a partnership.
Why you said it in that voice, dog?
Something.
So I feel like in this relationship, I'm learning definitely how to soften myself and kind of just give credit to the man that tries.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
We all.
Hold on. I got a quick question for Brittany.
Yeah.
So you just said something a moment ago. You said now you're picking your partners, right? Rather than, I guess, them. You're the one doing the choosing rather than being chose.
Right.
What changed for you? What
My
allowed you
mindset.
to? As far as
Talk about it.
I feel like therapy. I went to therapy. Shout
Shout
out
out
to
to
therapy. And I realized what I wanted in my life.
right.
And so what I wanted in my life was to be, instead of being chosen, to choose. Because I never feel like I get to choose things in my life. So now I'm the person who chooses how my life goes.
Come on.
It was probably because of the brother that ain't
Shut
had
up.
the money on the easy pass.
Oh my God.
I felt like I knew he was going to say that.
Be clear, I did my homework before I came here because I needed to know exactly what we were
Right.
stepping
Hold up.
into.
Yeah.
I just want to say this. He's been doing his homework.
I love that.
No.
I love
You
that.
gotta understand. He done sent us a group text maybe about a month ago.
did.
Like, yo, you gotta check these chicks. They
That's
on
all
there.
right.
respect.
That's dope. Yeah.
Let me.
So it all came back
Right,
full circle.
Wow, look at manifestations and
Like,
just throwing
literally.
it out there.
And I'm gonna be honest. When he
Alignment.
said that, I'm like, dude, why are you sending this to
Yeah.
me? Like,
I said the same thing.
like, yo, what do you want me to get from this?
Yes.
Honestly, I'm one of those people like. I don't really have like free time.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, tell me what you want me to get out
meat
of
to
this.
potatoes.
Yeah.
I'm a meat to potatoes.
Yeah,
I get
so
it.
that way I could get to the point.
Totally get it. Meat to potatoes.
Listen, I mean, I'm happy you kind of brought that story up because once again, like I saw the name.
Yeah.
I went on the IG handle. I said, "Yo, this is
Okay.
interesting." Like because I think everyone, especially in our communities, when they think about people with spirituality, they think about Andre 3000, somebody walking around the meadow barefoot, sun gazing, eating fruits and berries all day. Nah, it looks different for everyone.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And he definitely does that. He definitely does Eric Benet walking around barefoot. But needless to say that this is important. This is important in our community that we start to get tapped into our spirituality.
Yeah.
We have so many
Amen.
distractions, so many fears that is being pushed upon us every day. I think the work that you young ladies are doing are so important.
Thank
you.
You know what I mean? And keep doing what you're doing, man. We
Protect your
love it.
peace.
We
Thank
love and
you.
appreciate y'all for real.
Thank you
you.
so
Big
much.
facts.
I appreciate that.
I
We
appreciate that
we
too.
appreciate it so much because that's what literally that's what you're supposed to take from it.
Yeah.
Like we're doing
That's why
something
we do
different
it.
and. Everybody needs something to believe in, and everything is spirituality.
I think people are afraid to say they need something to believe in.
Yeah.
So that's why
and
we do it.
everything is spirituality.
Because it's hard to believe in stuff when you believed in it and it let you down.
Yeah.
Like, especially in our communities.
Definitely.
It's really hard to attach yourself to something.
And distractions is how the phones and what we see. We're just always taking things in, images in, and I feel like it's good to cut away. If you're gonna be on your phone, do it for something that's good for you.
Sure.
This is interesting. Since we got 9 minutes left.
Yeah. So we're talking about the trends in the relationship. So you guys, there was like a Psychology Today statistics that came out that said 62% of men on dating apps are showing up single as hell.
Lonely as hell.
Lonely as hell because women have raised their standards and no longer are going for mediocrity. How do you feel about that? 62% is a lot on a dating app.
I feel like they've been influenced and infiltrated.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wait, what?
Exactly.
Influenced and infiltrated.
The women?
And not even sure.
Yes.
The women?
Yes.
Ooh, okay, wait.
I think everyone has to a certain amount.
Yo,
to a certain
everybody
extent.
knows if you want to, I don't want to use the word destroy, but if you want to infiltrate a family, you go holler at the woman, cause she's really the person running everything. Like the woman is the key, and what they've done now, like Den was alluding to, is now they made women believe that they don't need men. Like, how dare you?
Yeah, I don't. Okay.
Yo, Ma, drop a ball for that, please.
People are going to be very surprised by my perspective when you say that.
Like, how dare you?
Okay, I gotta stand up.
How?
I don't like that I don't like that because I feel like we do need each other, and ultimately we are looking for partnership. Ultimately, we're just partnership beings, right? But I also believe the other side of like you can love more than one person. I definitely believe in that.
Big facts.
But I think that's why it's so. I think that's one of the reasons because women are looking at other things. Men are also looking at other things. Sure. But oh my God, I'm losing my train of thought because it was so deep. Wait. But I feel like women are no longer taking the short end of the stick, guys.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
I feel like how you show up.
The best question.
You don't be like. I feel like men have gotten lazy.
Lazy in what sense?
In courting, and I think everybody's worried about getting hurt. So
Nah,
I feel
men
like
ain't get lazy.
I feel like they
y'all
have.
choosing the wrong brothers.
Oh, time out. See, again, we're going to the men versus women thing, but it's an infiltration of it's a system, right? Because social media made it easy.
Yep.
But
And women made it easy for us to slide right in the DMs. Y'all doing the most.
I get that.
And that's what I'm saying. It's a system that's
Big
broken.
facts.
We
Yeah.
have to look and see that we're being infiltrated.
So that's
and
the part too
influenced.
that's annoying because it's like I feel like I always say this to Brittany. I say it to people all the time. I'm like, it's funny that people can't see past the influence, and I feel like if more people got out of this mainstream like rapper life, let's be out and like getting all the bottles and the hoes, that I think that if they came back to the ground, they would see what their bigger purpose is.
So is that more a man thing or a woman thing?
I think it's an everybody thing.
It's an
Nah,
everybody.
it's an everybody thing. Everybody's portraying to be something that they're not.
Yes, because for everyone guy that you think is not putting his all, there's a woman who's like, well, I need a bag sometimes, and you're like, well, like, let's work.
Man,
Like,
we're talking about love languages.
Knowing your partner.
Yeah, you got to know.
and it's not like he's like he shouldn't be a cash mule, and the girl shouldn't just be. You shouldn't just automatically think you deserve sex.
But where are
'Cause
we
you
getting
said
it
hi.
from? But where are we getting it from?
Yeah.
We're being infiltrated and influenced by the music, by social media, by the
everything.
news,
It's
by
so
the
fleeting.
feminist system. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
feminist movement. What
is
have you?
that? Yes.
What is spiritual tip? You know, I
We
am
love
very,
y'all. We love women, but
I don't know
We
who
love
decided that.
feminism thing, you gotta stop.
Who
Y'all
decided?
gotta stop.
Is this thing
Who
on?
said we needed to work?
Who said we need to do
Why
that?
did you say we needed to work like this?
Yo.
So that's why.
I need you home with my
Yeah.
babies, nurturing them.
What?
I need you to do that.
Listen.
Because you do it better than anyone ever.
Period.
We need you home. I need you to
But we
nurse
need to-
them.
we
I
gotta
need
work-
you to be with them.
But we got to work as a team because I think that's.
Partners.
I feel like it's got to be like, okay, if you're gonna. You got to go hard, and I feel like as Black people, we have to go harder than the average person. You should never
Sure.
forget that.
For sure.
And I think that we have to learn how to show up for each other. It goes back to what you guys saying about grace.
Yes.
And I think that when we come from certain backgrounds and certain strifes and certain traumas, we it's hard for people to see each other's trauma and figure out what the bigger picture is. We're trying to build generational wealth. That should be the only fucking goal.
So
Period.
Anika, I have a question. On one of your episodes, you spoke of like, I'm sorry, I got the cleft notes. You spoke of,
episode 3 or 4.
I'm not too sure what episode it was, but you spoke of at one point that you would indulge in stepping outside and dating of your race, right?
Yes.
Because you said that hitting a certain plateau in life, the conversations change.
Definitely.
And with that, you have to sometimes think outside the box. Do you still feel that way? Do you think that's a beneficial message to be pitching
That was
to
a controversial statement that you said,
to the
girl.
Black love community?
Because when you said, I was like, ooh.
I don't give a fuck. Y'all know who I am,
Yeah.
and I'm very Aries and very. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I know you are.
Speak on it.
I'm 110 toes down with the fuck I
Expound on
believe
it
in.
though. I'm not coming for
No,
you.
no, not you. I'm talking about them whoever felt. Goodbye.
Oh.
Cause bye. So I feel like with that, I feel like if people where you're at, they're not showing up for you, you can't like limit yourself. I just feel like you shouldn't limit yourself. And if you are trying certain things and it's just not, the results are not yielding, then maybe you should try something different. Maybe that's not your door.
But are we generalizing them?
Generalizing in what sense of what?
So are we generalizing the fact that most black men can't meet your standards?
Whoa.
Not that they can't meet my
Because that was what the statement was.
Not that they can't meet my standards. I just think that when it comes to the levels of who I am, they can't. It's hard. If there's 10 levels, I feel like it's hard for them to get past 5.
Okay.
Sometimes, in my experience, I feel like
fair.
and I think it could also be the way I present. Who
I was
knows?
about to say.
It could be the way I present, and then when they get to know me, they're like, "Oh shit, like she a little deeper than I thought," and it's like, yeah, like. This is not what it's hitting for. But if I'm out with certain different races and we're having the level of conversation is just different, different. Even food. I've dated people where even the food was like it was like, okay, you don't like sour cream.
You know what I
you don't like
think?
tortillas. You don't want to try it. You don't want to try an octopus. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You don't want to try it.
It's about your environment.
Yes.
If you change your environment, right, it doesn't matter black, white, orange, purple, because you can meet somebody of a different race that's honestly, you would think the way that they present that they're on a certain level, and they're nice.
Definitely.
Looks could definitely be deceiving.
Definitely.
So it's about the environment that you place yourself in, the community
And your
that you
character.
decide to join, right?
Your character is placed by your environment.
It's basically, So a lot of these things are ultimately influencing your decision making. It's influencing your even your energy.
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying?
definitely.
You could walk into a room where you think it's going to be like high energy, but you get in there and you notice these people, the vibe is off. Like
Yes.
I got to roll. This is not my
not for
my
me.
space. So.
I'll give you a prime example, like the yoga journey, right? On my yoga journey, like I didn't want to do none of that, right? My friend kept telling me, she's like, do yoga, do yoga, do yoga, do yoga. I wouldn't do it because my environment is like, we don't do that.
We don't do it.
Here, she just put a book in my hand.
That's every day.
You understand what I'm saying?
And now you yogi den.
7 spiritual laws of success.
But you were open. And I think that's the problem.
At
We don't
first,
meet enough people who are open.
I wasn't though.
Yeah.
She had to give me grace.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And then when I popped the book, it was a small book. She know not to give me a big book because I probably wouldn't have popped that open.
Yeah.
She gave me a small book, and I just I just popped it open one day. You understand what I'm saying? And then that changed
And the journey began.
That's it.
And don't get me wrong, I believe, like, I'm an advocate of, like, it's funny, I believe in duality, and I just feel like you should be open and don't limit yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you're in certain rooms and there's certain cultures that speak to you or you feel connected to that person, sometimes it doesn't matter their color, you just feel connected and heard. Yeah. Now, I will always go back to the black conversation of being a black woman and a black man. I just feel like other people will never know your struggle enough. But when you feel like you're not being seen for who you are and appreciated for who you are, I'm a chocolate black woman, I need somebody to see me. I need somebody to be like, you're beautiful every day. And I know I'm beautiful, but I need to know that you're not here just because you're here and that is truly what you want.
That's your love language, words of affirmation.
Yes. That
So
I'm
am I.
truly what you want and that we are cohesive and we love each other genuinely. Not just, we just made it work, we get together. No, I'm your black woman, you're my black man. There should be pedestals for us.
Big facts.
That's it. That's work. I like it.
I got a question for the table. I know I didn't mean to cut you off, but we get.
It's that 3rd episode.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, one last question, Marvelous. I'm sorry. Do you believe in soulmates? Do we believe in soulmates?
I believe
you can have more than
you
one
have
soulmate.
multiple soulmates. There
Yeah,
you go.
definitely.
Soulmates?
I got a couple soulmates. Like honestly, I again, we're talking about relationships. I believe that you brothers are my soulmates.
I was about to say the same
what I'm
thing.
saying?
I
That's
feel
what
like
we
your
said.
friends can be your soulmate.
So
Yeah.
it's real.
Soulmates are real. You know what? I just watched not too long ago Hancock, the movie.
I always bring that up.
You feel what I'm saying? And I believe like sometimes you can have a soulmate, but sometimes you're I'ma stop there.
Say what's on your heart. You was about to go
We
somewhere.
definitely gonna come back to this table. Dang, that was really great,
really
guys. Thanks for coming in. We gotta do this
Thank you for
again.
having
Thank
us.
you.
That's it.
We gotta do this again because this was great and they know how to hold a conversation and that's what we
That's
like.
so corny.
On
Yeah,
camera.
check out Corny Dads, okay?
On camera, part 2.
Part 2. We gotta do part 2. So on that note, it's Akina and Britt.
On the spiritual tip.
Have a good one, guys. Thanks, Corny Dads, for coming
Thank
out.
you, guys.
Yeah, excited.